There's a lot you can do in this town. You set it up and turn it around. We might have come from somewhere else, but this There's a lot you can do in this town. You set it up and turn it around. We might have come from somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of The Local Show here on Grassroots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host, welcoming you to our first show of September. Hope you guys survived the summer. Obviously you did because you're watching today. We want to welcome our Facebook Live audience. We also have a growing YouTube audience. Thank you guys for watching The Local Show. Now in our 15th year of featuring inspirational locals each week. And a gentleman, I think, who's joined me most of those 15 years. He actually wrote and sang the theme song for The Local Show. Dan Sheridan, I'll give you the long arm of the welcome. We'll say welcome back, Dan.
It's great to be here.
And it's pretty easy to welcome you back because, like, you're my neighbor.
I know.
And I see you many mornings, like
Right.
out walking your dogs,
Absolutely.
like me, grabbing the newspaper.
Right.
Still one of the great things about
Exactly.
a small town, right?
Yeah, when my first place was up in Centennial, and then I've made the adjustment to go across Park Ave into the trailer park.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. That was a pretty easy move. You basically just moved across the street.
I did. And with very little stuff. It took me about 40 minutes. New house.
Man,
Yeah.
did you find any friends to help you move? That's always the trick, is like when you're moving, like,
Yeah.
hey, anyone? Little
Right.
help over here?
Right.
Everyone's like, oh, no, gotta work.
Right.
I'm definitely engaged, doing something.
Right. That is a tough...
Or you didn't really need help because it was like such an easy move.
I was thinking about that, and I love to help people as much as I can, but maybe helping someone move would be okay, but I'm tired of helping people just like move their stuff around from the shed into the house or
No,
whatever it is. It's like, if it's your stuff weighs you down. I don't want to be part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like liberating to get rid of some stuff,
that.
right?
I
like
love it.
Lightens your load, lightens your
love it.
burden each day.
Yep. I
And
did
then
that
if you
yesterday.
do move, less stuff to move.
Exactly. I walked around yesterday with a big, hefty garbage can, or what do they call Rubbermaid things.
Okay.
I walked around the house.
Just getting rid of
Yeah.
stuff.
Katie, that didn't happen. All your stuffed animals are still in place.
Yeah, So let's talk about this summer, because
Sure.
it's been a pretty intense, dynamic summer.
Right.
And I wanted to talk about the Lake Christine fire in
Okay.
particular, because this is one of the biggest disasters, if not the biggest disaster we've seen living here now for you, 30 years.
Yeah.
Which we're also going to talk about your 30-year anniversary in Aspen. For me, coming up on 36 years.
Oh my gosh.
But to have a fire like that literally went up to the homes in Basalt.
I know.
Right up to the edge of the
Right.
neighborhood, and threatened homes in Elgibel and Carbondale, and people fleeing and evacuating, and
Right.
some thoughts just coming out of that, more focused on the community. Like, what did you learn about our community through this Lake Christine fire?
Right. Well, up in Aspen, living up here, I wasn't as affected as some of my friends down in Basalt. But this community is just so ready to help in any way they can. It really is a community, a valley-wide community. So that's all I noticed, is how kind people are and supportive, and yeah.
I thought that the love generated towards, like you say, first towards each other,
Right.
our friends, our neighbors, our fellow Valley locals,
Right.
as well as towards the emergency
Oh,
personnel,
God. Yeah.
the local firefighters, the
Right.
visiting firefighters, the hot shots that dropped in, all
Right.
that, and all the other emergency personnel, the love towards them too.
Right.
Some were saying in 30 years of firefighting, they had never seen that in anywhere in the
Really?
country.
Really?
This was in the newspaper.
Wow.
The Aspen Times in particular did a great
Right.
job with the coverage. But these were firefighters that had fought all over the country.
Right.
And literally said, especially from the community of Elgibel, that they had never had such a heartwarming
Right.
experience. And that's
Right.
something I think we really can be proud of.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just thinking about what those guys go through, you know, being in those suits,
Man.
up on the hillside all day long and the heat, and God, I hope they get paid well.
I hope they get paid well, and you would imagine they are fit as fiddles, too, to do that kind of
Can you
physical
imagine?
work.
God.
I mean, that puts Bikram hot yoga to shame. Namaste
That's funny.
to our firefighting friends.
All they need is a yoga mat up there.
Right,
Just keep
right.
putting it down.
Oh, man, a reflective mat or something, maybe, too. But another thing I wanted to talk about is some of the fun about summer, and you've got 2 kids. And
Right.
Just real briefly, what are some of the fun things you like to do with your kids each summer?
Right. Well, I am a total keep it simple kind of guy. I don't need to get in my car and go way over there to have fun.
Yeah.
I could keep it fun right here. So we just usually find like a pretty outdoor spot. I try to do it as much as I can and just take the kids there and maybe sit by the river and put our feet in the water and just talk and say, how are you doing, you know?
Or maybe a little fishing,
A little
maybe?
fly fishing, yep. Although I'm not doing it now because it's just too low and I feel bad. I
Yeah,
mean, there's
yeah.
another question. Where are the fish? Where do they go? Are they all going to die from this, or?
Well, you know, I think
changing the subject,
it's like
but-
what fish do is they find the deepest possible holes and
Yeah,
hang out. You
I
know,
hope
and it's,
so.
It's like me in off season. You know, I
Right.
find the coolest place to hang out, you know, during the slow time.
Right.
But no, I mean that's where those deep water, like on the bends of the rivers,
Right.
and anything that they can find. You know,
Right.
and Hunter Creek, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
You know, both you and I live close to Hunter Creek, and you're looking at that, which is boulders and rocks.
I
going,
know.
where are the fish hanging out?
Right.
But if you look more carefully,
Yeah.
and actually, it's kind of cool to do like a ski training. Ski conditioning is running. I call it boulder hopping,
Yeah.
and I run right up Hunter Creek.
Right.
But then you get a chance to see the pools up close. And then, oh wow, there's a little brownie in there.
Right.
And it's amazing how resourceful those guys are.
I hope so, because the Roaring Fork where we live is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
There's a lot of money
luckily
going in
we've been
this.
getting some rain lately, and we're supposed to get a little more this week. So
Right.
let's keep our fingers crossed for
I
more
noticed
rain.
that, throwing a little prod here, there's a lot of water going in the Salvation Ditch.
Yes. Yes, no doubt. No doubt about it. Yeah, we noticed that
We're
too.
going to water some ranches up there. Let's put it back in the river. What do you say?
Right, right.
But then again, first rights, so.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
complain.
Those water rights are pretty tricky. But Dan,
Right.
we've got a lot to get
Sure.
to, including some live music on the show today. So we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We do want to thank our summer underwriters who have generously supported the local show. The Aspen Animal Hospital, our title sponsor. Aspen Square, the Aspen Times, Klug Properties, Pitkin County Landfill, and Sundog Athletics. We'll go to our only break of the show, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes with live music with local singer-songwriter and local legend Dan Sheridan. So don't go away. Aspen Animal Hospital not only offers our community a friendly professional staff featuring 5 veterinarians, but a new wellness program for pets focusing on prevention and pet longevity. They offer new enhanced feline care, exotic pet care, and acupuncture. Extended hours on weekdays and weekends offer more convenience. For more information, 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Hey, did you miss the turn for recycling?
I can't read the map on your cracked screen.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
The Aspen Times has been telling the stories that matter to our community since 1881 and continues to be the only local media outlet committed to local prep sports and dedicated arts and entertainment coverage. They also offer you The Drop-In, a weekly outdoor recreation video highlighting the many reasons we love to live in this community. You can find the Aspen Times at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Celebrating another great summer season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place, featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. All accommodations are air-conditioned, and Aspen Square is proud to support the local show. To find out more, visit aspensquarehotel.com.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Less than 30 miles a week. We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us here on Grassroots Community Network, as well as Facebook Live and YouTube. And we've got Dan Sheridan and my dog Luna's in the house. And Dan, you're a longtime local now, 30-year local. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But one of my favorite all-time Dan Sheridan songs, which kind of summarizes the show a little bit. Today's show is called Being a Local. Is Small Town Love.
Oh, thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Small Town Love before you sing Small Town Love?
Sure. And you can listen to the lyrics. Kind of wrote it looking down on Aspen from Smuggler Mountain with my little notebook, and from the deck up there. And it's my home, you know. And every song I write, I always kind of write, you know, sort of like two emotions happening at the same time, kind of rubbing against each other, you know. And I'm so thankful to be here. But I really have never really left once I moved here. And that was August 31st, 1988.
Wow.
30 years.
Just over 30 years now, by days.
By days. And I remember the day I got here, I got dropped off in front of the Hotel Jerome. I didn't know anybody. And it was a Friday afternoon, and they had that Friday afternoon club at the Jerome.
Oh, yeah, FAC.
And I was like, I think I could get used to this.
Yeah, this might not be a bad home.
This is all right.
And then 30 years
and I'm like
later.
tapping people. I'm like, look at that mountain. Look at it. I'm like, we know.
We know.
It's mountainous
here. We know
here.
it's pretty awesome. Who's the new guy?
So I wrote this song about Aspen and my love for it. It's hard enough to act your age when every day's a blank page. Every day is different than before. And I might have missed my big break. We were swimming in the lake, living life, that's what it's for. But I feel complete, a small town is enough for me. I've seen it from the hill up above. Down there in the glow, well, everything is nice and slow. I'll never leave my small town love. Small town love. And I get up and I fall more often than a basketball. Leaving here seems to make it worse. And I like to say thanks a lot, you're all I need, what I got. I love you so much, it hurts. But I feel complete, a small town is enough for me. I've seen it from the hill up above. Down there in the glow, well, everything is nice and slow. I'll never leave my small town love. Small town love.
Nice, love it.
Thank you, Eric.
It is like one of the Dan Sheridan anthems, you know, like one of the signature songs, and Small Town Love. So many things to talk about there, but Aspen's gone through a lot of changes the last 30 years. You know, you've seen it now, and I've seen it now. Yeah. Let's talk about maybe one of the things we see, or in particular what you see as a growing issue, a growing problem in Aspen, and maybe a solution right after that. Because I not only like to recognize the problems, or what we perceive as problems, but also as solutions.
Right.
And I think that's really important. So what
Sure.
are some
First thing
observations?
that comes to mind is one of my solutions for myself to keep me more sane, peaceful, whatnot, is only drive your car when you absolutely have to.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you got to drive your car, drive it. But you can usually walk. In the summer, you could ride your bike. I have a little Vespa scooter, and
Yep.
you can park it anywhere. And but I think that, you know, too many cars,
Yeah.
and so much of the traffic is around the construction stuff, and you know that's all part of the equation here. So walk, ride your bike. You'll be happier. The town will be less stressful, less carbon pollution, and less car horns. So yeah, how's that?
Yeah, I like
That's a
it. I like
solution.
it because, you know, actually one of the things talked about in the Aspen Area Community Plan is to develop alternatives to the single-use car,
Right.
like WeCycle, that's just been blowing up
Yeah, that's
year
great.
after year and increasing dramatically,
Right.
like riding Rafta, which is
Exactly.
growing exponentially. There's many examples of the downtown or electric shuttle
that's right.
that takes
It's
people
perfect.
around town.
Right.
That's growing exponentially.
Right.
The East Hopkins Bikeway, 400 people a day go up
Oh, right.
Hopkins, up past the Boomerang
That's
to exit
right.
town by
That's
bike or
perfect.
walking,
Perfect.
where cars aren't allowed.
Yeah.
And people, again, when they have alternatives, will take it if it's
Right.
safe and convenient. So yeah, once you get in town, you know, to be able to take advantage of one of those alternatives like the
yeah.
bus or like a bike or like a free WeCycle.
Yep.
We have the only free bike share in the United States in a town of 7,000 people with WeCycle.
Right.
So that first half hour, and they just saw again the use went up like 60%
No,
this
it's
summer.
a great thing. It's a great thing.
So I agree
And imagine if all
wholeheartedly.
those people that are using WeCycle or bikes or walking were in their cars. What a nightmare it would be.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. So anyway, the solutions
Yeah.
are working because in 2017 we actually saw the traffic counts flatten out.
That's great.
After rising and rising and rising with the
Right.
rising economy.
Right.
You know, since the recession. So some of those measures are working.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
mean, there is a pain, like with the Castle Creek Bridge construction, that
Right.
we sometimes go through to get to the alternative,
Right.
to get to the solution. But I really like that.
And you were mentioning about the downtowner. What a great little vehicle. I wonder if you
Right.
could just have one of those personally, you know, parked in your driveway, just to zip down the city market or whatever.
Right.
What are they, electric? Or?
Well, Shay Singer, who
Right.
owns the Aspen Emporium and Flying Circus,
Right.
she was one of our winter underwriters. She sells those electric cars.
Oh, she does.
And they are allowed just in Aspen.
Right.
Obviously, they can't go out on the highway.
Right.
But yeah, they're encouraged. They have the free charging stations now.
That's great.
Electric charging supplied by the city
Right.
for free. So you could go along the streets where they have those charging stations or in the parking garage.
That's right.
I think they just added 3 more
Right.
electric charging stations for cars.
I think it's
So that's
great.
definitely encouraged.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
anything that's healthier for us
Right.
and healthier for the environment.
Right.
You know, and that also removes stress in the case
Exactly.
of cars.
Yep, that's one of the more challenging things is driving around here. The less you can do, the better.
Right.
Trust me.
And if
you'll
you
feel
ride a
better.
bike, you won't have to circle around City Market 3 times to find a parking space.
Right.
So let's shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
You've performed for many years now. How many years have you been performing in public?
Gosh, well, I've lived here 30 years, and so there's 30 there. Before
Wow.
I moved here, I lived in Boston, and I used to play my guitar out in Harvard Square for tips, and it was a blast. I had a little battery-powered amplifier, and I'd ride my bike with the amp on the back down there, and I'd sit and just sing, and people would walk by and throw money in my guitar case, and I met
Nice.
people. It was really fun. So doing that, I saved up enough money to get on an airplane and fly here. And I have to say, it's very embarrassing. I was probably 22 at the time. I had never been on a plane before. And I didn't know that, like, when you flew from Boston to Denver to Aspen, that the bags were checked all the way through. I
Oh.
thought you had to recheck your bag.
Oh.
So I'm running around Stapleton at the time. I was like, my bag is gone. I'm sure it was just like a hefty lawn and leaf bag at the time.
Don't worry, sir. It's on its way to Aspen. It's all taken care of, sir. This must be your first flight.
Exactly.
Flying rookie.
But I was living in a tent before then, and I've lived in
Oh,
a tent
man.
out here before. I mean, that's a real local.
Wow.
That's way down to earth.
See, that
That's
was a
why they
big-
call it difficult campground. When times are difficult, just go live there.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It is.
That makes sense. Let's talk about some of the gigs over the
Sure.
years. and we have some images we're going to bring up from some of your live performances. But is there maybe a story that you can think back on a favorite show that maybe you haven't told yet, that was just an extraordinary experience, or maybe it was someone else who you got to perform with, or
Sure.
you know, at a more, you know, like exceptional evening or day? Can you anything come to mind?
Sure. Well, actually, the first thing that comes to mind is a little to the side of that. I'm 53 now, and I still play at the Red Onion, or this Saturday I'm playing over at Hops Culture.
Yes.
3 o'clock.
Let's get a date on that.
Is it the 8th? September 8th? Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be there. Come on by and say hi. It's just like out on the mall. It's kind of like my days in Harvard Square in Boston, just talking to people. But I guess the big thing is I still really like it, you know? And if people want to hear John Denver songs, I'm flattered, you know? I'm just so thankful that I can do it and sing, and it's my job, and I guess that's the big news. So some of them are really fancy, like playing at the Jerome, or not the Jerome, the Wheeler Opera House, opening up for someone. And there's other ones that are at the Red Onion, which is just great. I get to meet my friends, and so that's one change in my life. I'm not like, God, no one's listening to me, and I want to play my own songs. I'm just so thankful to be here and to play. So.
Like, it seems like you've landed, and this is how I ended the show with Klaus 3 weeks ago, was what's left?
Yeah.
And his answer, he just looked at me right in the eye, and I almost cried. It's actually so meaningful. He goes, gratitude.
Exactly.
He goes, that's what's left.
Absolutely.
And that is where you've landed.
Absolutely.
And that's a wonderful place to land.
I wake up in the morning and I think of 3 things that I'm very grateful for. Same at the end of the day. And I often ask my kids, you know, tell me 3 things you're really happy about today. And sometimes it'll be like just playing with our dog, Chloe, or whatever it might be, my bike. So yeah, you could look at any situation, a positive view or a negative view.
Right.
And if you have a negative view of Aspen, you might want to look inward.
Right. And again, start the day by counting the blessings. That helps create happiness.
Yep.
Because all of a sudden we're recognizing all these good things.
Right.
That's a great thing. There's also a thing I use called the gratitude rock.
Okay.
And I learned this from this really cool movie called The Secret, which is about basically the law of attraction.
Right.
Like what you put out, you get back.
Right.
They called it karma back in the day.
I remember.
I think they still do. Is you have a rock, and I found this special beach rock. It's shaped like a bike saddle, in my case, and I hold onto the rock, and I give gratitude.
Awesome.
And I have it in a place where I can see it every day.
Exactly.
And that helps that happiness well from within.
Right. What you think about will just expand. I've been doing this thing because I have to get up early to get the kids on the school bus, and I get a little extra early, and I just sit on the floor with my first cup of coffee. I don't do anything but sit there, taste the coffee, think about the 24 hours ahead, and then I'm like, okay, let's rally, knock on the bedroom doors, get up, it's time to go. And then it's like jumping in. But I just pause before I even get going, and I think about the day and think about all the great things in my life. I'm so thankful. This really is a wonderful time of life. I've been through some hard things, like a lot of us have, and but we came through. The 3 of us are doing great. So, all right.
Well, speaking of great things,
yeah.
How about that for a segue?
Sure.
How about another song?
Sure.
We're down to just a couple minutes.
Couple minutes. I'll be very brief.
I'll let you pick this one.
And you can tell me when we need to stop the song or whatever. But this song is about, as I said, I'm 53, and I wrote a bunch of songs lately about, you know, the most important responsibility we have, in my opinion, in this life is to be exactly who you are. You know, wherever it may be, just be yourself. So this song is called Be the Light. Be the light you were born to be. Looking back on this lonely winter, talking to myself, and I was living with a lost connection I made with someone else. And yes, I'm glad to stay at home, Dad might have found himself. Be the light, be the light, be the light that you were born
just like me. Be the light, be the light, be the light that you were born to. This song kind of goes on like that, but I'm going to leave you with that. Just be who you are. Everything will be exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Or what I like to say is, I really like that. Find your God-given purpose.
Exactly. Same thing.
God has given us gifts, or you want to say the universe,
Right.
whatever you like, has given us gifts. Gifts has given us a purpose then,
Right.
which is to use those gifts,
Right.
hopefully to help other people. Like, to me, it's like, now I'm getting into this, and a friend told me, oh, you're in your forester stage of your life. I go, forester?
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, start taking care of stuff? And pretty much it does. It's
Right.
like, what can I do to kind of give back?
Exactly.
What's going to be my legacy?
Right.
Legacy might be kind of a little overly dramatic, but what is the effect?
Right.
What is the effect on the world? Like, what happens after I'm gone?
Right.
What was the difference?
Exactly.
You know, I like
think it's
that.
really important. Now music is kind of on the back burner. It's always there. But my purpose now is just being a father. And so much of being a father is being there and listening. It's not always easy to listen, but show up, listen. It's not about you. That's the good thing about parenthood. The tough thing about parenthood is it's not about you anymore. That's also the good
Also
thing.
good, yeah.
I've had enough Dan. More Dan in any situation is
Danned
too
out.
much. So right now, just being there. So it's not like I'm doing something dramatic. I'm not climbing Sopris or floating down the river or jumping in the punch bowl from the highest thing. I'm just sitting there. Sometimes it's playing cards or sitting by the river with the kids and saying, how are you doing? And listening. Listening.
Oh.
It's going by the wayside.
It's becoming a lost art, especially as everyone sits on the smartphone like that all day long. And
I heard someone say that genuinely listening is now an act of love.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I listened today. I listened to you. I listened to the music. I hope all our viewers enjoyed it as well. Dan, I baked you some cookies. Organic chocolate chip last night.
Good.
And
Thank you so much.
Thanks to our partner, Picken County Landfill.
Great.
You've got a reusable pint glass.
I love that.
And bamboo utensils. How cool is that?
Bamboo utensils.
Yeah, they're really light, too, so you get like almost Ginsu action.
Can I
with
put
those
them in the
bad boys.
dishwasher?
So we're out of time, buddy. Did you have fun today?
Great. I love seeing you, man.
Yeah.
See you in
thanks
the
so
hood.
much. Thank you, Dan.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
See you in the hood. Thank you, Luna, my co-host and mascot. And thank you guys above all for watching. Staff featuring 5 veterinarians, but a new wellness program for pets focusing on prevention and pet longevity. They offer new enhanced feline care, exotic pet care, and acupuncture. Extended hours on weekdays and weekends offer more convenience. For more information, 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Hey, did you miss the turn for recycling?
I can't read the map on your cracked screen.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
The Aspen Times has been telling the stories that matter to our community since 1881 and continues to be the only local media outlet committed to local prep sports and dedicated arts and entertainment coverage. They also offer you The Drop-In, a weekly outdoor recreation video highlighting the many reasons we love to live in this community. You can find the Aspen Times at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram. Sundog Athletics is celebrating 22 years as Aspen's adventure sports school and is your opportunity to quickly and safely gain new skills to experience the thrills of adventure sports, including mountain and road biking, fitness hiking, and the area's only flatwater canoeing adventures. For more, sundogathletics.com, Sundog Athletics on Facebook, or 925-1069.
Welcome to